I'm Wade Sherbrooke. I came to Tucson to do advanced science, and I've been here since the 1960s. And I'm out in Millstone Manor, and in the western side of the Tucson Mountains. I've been enjoying life out here and the natural world, which I hike in essentially every day. When I first moved into this neighborhood, I could hike into BLM land from the property that I was on. And I hiked there for quite a bit. But some people began shooting there. And I decided that I put up a sign one time saying, how about you folks not making us feel like we live in a war zone here? How about, you'll find the county has a range over here that you could use for your shooting. And I didn't talk to the people. I just put up a little sign. They knocked down the sign and paid no attention to me.
Right behind me is a mountain on the south slope that's BLM land. That's where all the shooting takes place. Like right now, it's very peaceful. Whatever you want to do, yard work on your truck. When they start shooting, it's real annoying. You're trying to enjoy being outside, doing some work. I just always tell myself as I'm working, why are they over there shooting and shooting and shooting? And sometimes they'll be over there for an hour and then somebody else will come in and shoot for another hour.
And I don't think there's 10 people shooting there. I think there's 1 to 3 people at a time, but they have a variety of guns of different calibers. You can tell when they have a high caliber thing, and you can tell when they have rapid fire things. I don't know if they're automatic or semi-automatic. And the other thing, what impresses me all the time, is the amount of ammunition they use. This is serious practice with a variety of arms.
They have pistols, ARs, big guns. It just depends on all kinds of noise, and it's quite loud. I feel for the people up on Jamie.
I live at the X at South Jamie Avenue. Shooting is on the dot to the left, and the dot to the right is the edge of my property. Biggest concerns are the noise and danger and not being able to use the property. No one else can use it because there's so much shooting going on.
I don't hike there now because people are shooting over there all the time, and there's people shooting over there, and it's not just during my hiking time. They shoot there into the night, into 10 o'clock at night, and I've woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning and people are shooting there.
I've noticed now that they start to shoot in the evenings and they carry it on into the night. When I've actually go to bed to get ready for work, I'm hearing noise out there.
We have videos of shooting going on during the day. We have videos of automatic weapons being fired. We have videos of shooting at night, in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning.
And I've also had my sister here. They started shooting one time when she was here and thought there was, she asked me, are they shooting out there? It just sounds like a war zone.
Constant shooting all day long. Not every day, but most days. There's bombs, but I don't have any video of those because you never know when one's going to go off. But bombs are cannons that shake the whole house, and plates have fallen off the wall and broken.
It's not just a random gunfire. It's machine guns. We'll try to sit out there in the evening and enjoy ourselves by a fire, or we had company over one night, and that gentleman that was with us has knowledge of different types of guns. And I said, I don't know why they're doing this. They do this during the regular evening hours. And I said, there's other places where they can be shooting their guns legally. Just miles from our house, they can be shooting their guns legally. And he said, well, of course they can, but they're not shooting legal guns. He said, that's an illegal gun that they're shooting. That's why they're not at those ranges. So what's up with that? That's dangerous that they're shooting those kind of guns at those ranges where it's illegal. My daughter runs a hiking club for elementary kids out of her school, Banks Elementary School, and they do this after school, and they would love to hike back behind their school, which they have done numerous times, and it goes back towards that mountain there with a trail, which would be wonderful, but she's not able to do that because of the shooting during the day. Those ricochet bullets can be very dangerous, and there's no way that she can do that with the kids. And it's a shame because that's a perfect way for the kids to go hiking, because they don't have to pile up in a car and go driving to other locations. They could do it right from their school. And it's just not close to being a safe location for them to go, not with the shooting during the day, and especially not with illegal shooting going on during the day.
I've hiked a fair amount of the Tucson Mountain Park extension, and I've found informal shooting ranges at various locations, and also pointed at various directions, not all just into the mountain. So I would be worried if I was going to send a large number of people out. Someone shows up and thinks they got every right to shoot. Well, right now nothing can happen, but if the park had it, then it would fall under Pima County jurisdiction, and the sheriff could respond and close off the shooting, and you would make it a much safer environment so that people could fully use it without concern. Yeah, the gunfire, that's a big issue with me. I personally have 2 bullet holes, one in the storage shed down by my corral, and one that came on a different corral on my other property on the roof, where bullets have came up in the sky and then penetrated through the roof. And at some point in time, it will do much more damage than just penetrating a roof. But you just don't like lead flying around.
We've found where there's a hole over our roof on our pen where our horses are at. My wife noticed that there was a hole in her horse by her mouth that was perfectly round, and wondering if a bullet had come down and hit her. Found some in an old shed come down through the roof before.
And these guys aren't target shooting. They're up there semi-automatics bamming away. And if you look at the trajectory of some of these bullets, they're actually shooting 30% degree up the hill to their targets. And some of the contemporary bullets have a 2-mile range. The existing park, you've got a shooting range right with Pima County, and we have no problem at all because that's managed, professional. That's fine, and that's how target practice should be. You shouldn't have a bunch of unregulated people up there shooting midnight or whatever the times they do. They go all through the night. Occasionally you hear an explosion. It's just an annoyance and an unsafe situation. BLM has failed to react. They say it doesn't meet their regulations, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous. And the more we can preserve and help nature, I think the better we are. And that's the whole philosophy of Tucson Mountain Park. I have one friend that is part of a horse riding club, and she said they would probably not use that area much because of the shooting. And it just restricts the whole use of the area when you have unregulated, what sounds like high caliber shooting. So you hate to see a resource not used for the benefit of just a few people.
I'm also very interested in this area and think it has great promise to the people of the county around here, because biologically it's very rich. This valley, the Avra Valley, has reptiles. I work on reptiles. It has reptiles coming from the west that just get up to here. They don't get into the Tucson Basin. They're just on the west side of the Tucson Mountains. Things like desert iguanas, sidewinder rattlesnakes, and there was a horned lizard species that was in this valley, not in the Tucson Valley. It's west of here. It's in California and stuff, but it was just this far west, and it's no longer here in this valley. So it's a good thing to protect. So with this property that goes down to the west of where we are, that's now a BLM land holding, it's a problem for BLM. They don't want to own a small parcel of land and have to manage it. But it's completely adjacent to the north side of it, and it's longitudinal east to west property. The north side of it is adjacent to Tucson Mountain Park. And when I moved in here and first started hiking here, I could see it made sense to add it to Tucson Mountain Park. It just makes sense. Over the last 20 years or 30 years, there's been a lot of new housing built in this region. That means there's a lot of people here in homes that are stacked together. People don't have a lot of places to hike right around their homes. And Tucson Mountain Park, they don't have very good access to it. And by having that added to the county park, it would give good openings for the people. And then we need places where they can take their kids and have experiences in the natural environment and learn about the richness that we have. And it's very direct. I can walk to it, but from there they would have very little distance to go. And what that means, that they do it. People don't do things as easily if they have to go a long distance and do a lot. But if they can drive 5 minutes and take their kids into the woods, or set up a little camping situation, or just a picnic situation, then they're in the natural world and enjoying it. It's a little difficult to get in there right now, but if that land was lost by the BLM, they would like to get rid of it, and if it went to commercial use, there'd be housing in there, and it would be a huge barrier for people trying to get in to Tucson Mountain Park.
It is time to do this. It's been at least 20 years in the offing. It probably should have been included in the mountain park in the first place when it was master developed. As this area grows, given all the recent developments on Ajo, commercializing it, Walmart, those two large subdivisions, this is just going to be a fast-growing area, and the more we can serve it now, we'll pave the way for future generations. 5 or 10 years from now, it's going to be extremely important and useful, not only to us, but to the animal and wildlife that we preserve. The Banks Elementary School, TUSD, they actively rent their facility out to different groups. So if you wanted to stage a mountain bike race, you could isolate that end of the park and put those bicycles in, and they would have all kinds of facilities and be ready to go. If the county ever developed summer programs for kids, you got a ready-made facility. You don't have to go invest money. You just look them up on the internet, you make a deal with them, and away you go. And it's paved parking, a developed facility. I just see it as a natural, ready spot that the county would have to invest no money and be ready to go to accommodate whatever groups might want to use it in the future. Holy cow, if you can get a $15 or $20 million property for $250,000, that's, you should prioritize it. I mean, it's a ganga ready to go. And we're hoping that Jen Allen will come true for us. She's given every indication of being receptive, and we just don't understand that it should be such a hard deal to do.